Do you want to make your own mix set in Monster Hunter World? Well then, this video is for you. Hello, my name is Tygram and welcome to my channel where I go over the step-by-step process I use in making my own mix sets. To show you guys that you don't need to copy another person's mix set. You can make your own mix set, the one that best suits you. And it's not as difficult as you think. In this video, I will be going over how to make a mix set for a specific weapon and my process step by step on how I do this. So let's go right into the smithy here. Today I chose the longsword, the Wyvern Blade Indigo, as my weapon of choice. Now I chose this weapon because whether you're in the end game, in the early game, you don't need any expansion monsters to get this longsword. It is the Rathalos longsword. You can get this just by farming the Rathalos and Azure Rathalos throughout the game. The first thing I do when I make a mix set for a weapon is I go into skills when crafting armor, and I will find the handicraft skill. Now, looking through these, I will find enough pieces like the Kushala beta. I'll preview that. Then there's the Death Stench Heal beta, and there's the Kulv Sharath alpha. This gives me 6 points of handicraft out of the 5, but I'm not planning on making these. These are just to preview something about the weapon of your choice. With handicraft 5, we can see that this weapon can indeed get white sharpness. So now that we know that it can get white sharpness, that will be in our priority list. If it cannot get white sharpness, I leave it out of my priority list. Now then, we're going to go up here to Forge Equipment and Armor. And what we're going to do is we're going to decide what skills I want on this longsword. So I'm going to sort by skills, and I'm going to decide what skill I want the absolute most. And we're going to start with that first. And the first skill that I know that I'm going to want for this longsword is the Elemental Crit bonus, which is Rathalos Mastery 2. So I'm going to search that first. And these are all the pieces that give Rathalos Mastery. And I need 2 of them. Now, from this list, and this is only if you want a set bonus. If you don't want a set bonus, then you can just kind of skip the kind of method I'm doing now. But since I need this set bonus, I'm picking the next highest priority of my skills from these pieces, because I need 2 of them. Now, the second thing I want on this set is Weakness Exploit. Weakness Exploit is the best skill set in the game. It gives you the most damage for the fewest amount of skill points. So there is a piece in the Rathalos tree that has Weakness Exploit. And as you can see, I have that piece already, so I do not need to make it. The next thing I want is Attack Boost 4. That is the next highest thing on my tier list of things that I want on this build. So I will look, and of course the normal Rathalos Helm Beta and Alpha have Attack Boost 4. Now I also want Fire Attack on this build, so I will choose the Rathalos Helm Alpha, since this is a fire weapon. And as you can see by the little box in the bottom right corner of that icon, that I do own this piece of armor as well, so I do not need to make it. Now, I have both of my Rathalos 2-piece sets out of the way, and I have 2 points of my 3 weakness exploits and 2 points of my 4 points of attack boost that I want. From there, I will search my skills again. Now, I need 1 more point of weakness exploit, which is my highest skill that's not the set bonus. So I will look in here for weakness exploit. Should be around here somewhere. There it is. Okay, these are all the armor pieces with weakness exploit. You can see them glowing here. Now, I can use another Rathalos piece with Jump Master, no slots. but I don't need Jump Master, and I'd rather have the most slots possible. There's Weakness Exploit 2 and a 1 level slot that I could use. I can't use a helm or a chest because I already have a helm and a chest. So I cannot use any of these pieces. So it has to be gloves, waist, or legs. Now, could use the Dante leather boots, which give 2 points of weakness exploit and 2 level 1 slots, but that gives me an extra point I don't need, plus that is a DLC armor, and today I'm not going to use any DLC armors. I'm going to use just the base armors that you get from the game to make this mixed set, because I really don't know where any of you are in the game. So, here's one with weakness exploit 1, which is all I need, and a level 3 slot. Level 3 slots can put any gem in it, so that's very useful. We'll pick that. And as you can see from the little box, I already do own it, so I don't need to make it. I will just preview it. I preview every piece of armor I select as I go, so that way I know where I am in my build. So now I have a helm, a chest, and arms. I have my weakness exploit 3 and 2 points of attack boost. Now from there, I know I want my attack boost 4 next, so I will pick attack boost as my next option. Alright, there's attack boost. Now I can only use a waist or legs at this point. Alright, there's the Nergigante coil. This one has stamina surge and no slots. I don't need stamina surge. That's not on my list of skills that I want. There's an attack boost 2 with a level 1 slot from the legs. And then there's a level 2 slot with attack boost 2 from the Nergigante coil. Now I can use either of these to finish out my attack boost. The Nergigante coil gives a level 2 slot, while the Dober legs beta give a level 1 slot, which means I have more options using the Nergigante coil. I will pick the Nergigante coil as my item to finish out my 4 ranks of attack boost. So at this point, we have attack boost 4 and weakness exploit 3. And we also have our Rathalos mastery bonus, and we have fire attack 1 from the helm. This is just from a decoration that I had in the piece that I already own. That is not on any of the armor pieces, so we're going to ignore that for now. Okay, so now we have our attack boost 4, and we have our weakness exploit, and our elemental crit. As we saw in the earlier part of the video, I noticed that this weapon can get white sharpness. So the final skill on the tree that I want for this build will be handicraft. So we will search for the handicraft skill, and we'll see if any legs have that skill. And as we see here, the Kushala legs alpha have 1 point of handicraft with 0 slots and 2 points of evade extender. The Death Stench heel have 2 points of handicraft with 2 points of dragon attack, and the beta version has 2 points of handicraft with 2 level 1 slots. And finally, the Hornitar leggings alpha and beta have handicraft 1 with 1 slot or dragon attack 1. The best option, since I do not need dragon attack or evade extender, and I want to get the most points of handicraft possible, will be the Death Stench heel beta, which I do already have. So I'll preview that. Now from this point, we go into our charms. Which is a little more tricky. Now, I still need 3 more points of handicraft. So I will look through this list of charms to see if I can get 3 more points of handicraft. Okay, there's a handicraft charm with 1 point of handicraft, but it has an upgrade level of 3. Which means I get 1 more point for each upgrade level. So if I have this fully maxed out charm, I have a charm with handicraft level 3. I do indeed have that charm. So I will go into my change equipment, into my charms, and I will find my handicraft charm. Now, I will equip all the armors that I previewed earlier. The Rathalos Helm Alpha, the Rathalos Mail Beta, the Kaiser Vambraces Beta, the Nergigante Coil Beta, and the Death Stench Heal Beta. Alright, from this point, we can now do our decorations. Now this will vary depending on what decorations you have unlocked in the game. This is all RNG based. I've been playing this game for a while. I have a lot of decorations, so I have a lot of options. You may be new to the game or just haven't had the luck that you want with the skills and decorations that you need. So I will try to be very lenient when making these decoration slots. Now that I have my handicraft 5, attack boost 4, and weakness exploit 3, with my Rathalos Mastery 2, I go next on my priority list, which is a flinch-free level 1, which is a brace jewel, so that I don't get flinched by my allies in the middle of combat. And as you can see, luckily there's already a flinch-free jewel in our Kaiser Vambraces Beta, so that's already done. The next skill I want on my list is the Critical Eye skill, to give myself more crit chance for my elemental crit. So I will look for expert jewels, and I will put in, I want Critical Eye 7, that is not obtainable, so I will keep putting expert jewels in as many level 1 slots as I can, since it's a level 1 decoration. This gives me Critical Eye 4. And with the natural crit of the weapon, with the Critical Eye and the attack boost, that gives me 35% chance to crit. This is not calculating the weakness exploit, which is on monster weak points, which is 50%. If I do hit a weak point, that gives me 85% chance to crit. With 270 fire element because of my fire attack 1, and my white sharpness, which increases both my raw damage and my fire damage, the elemental crit aspect will apply to my 270 fire damage with the increased white sharpness damage to do a good bit of damage, if I do say so myself. Now, in this last level 2 slot, I have several options. I could put another expert jewel in for another 5% chance to crit. Or, depending on your jewels, you can put a mighty jewel in here, if you have it, for a 10% chance to crit instead of the 5 if you have full stamina, which unless you dodge, you will, because longsword does not use stamina. So that's a very good choice here. Or you could possibly do, if you have it, a sharp jewel, which gives you a minute of set sharpness that doesn't go down after you sharpen your weapon, which means whenever you attack for that minute, you don't lose any of your sharpness bar, which is great for keeping that white sharpness that you have. So it's really personal preference. A lot of you may not have either of those jewels, so I'll just pick the expert jewel, which you might not have this many expert jewels. I just kind of picked these in case. But if you don't have expert jewels, you can do blaze jewels, to the point where your weapon no longer increases its fire damage. Alright, as you see, my fire damage won't go up anymore, so that's the limit to the blaze jewels I can put in. And since I have fire attack 1 in my Rathalos Helmet Alpha, fire attack 3 is where this weapon maxes out in fire damage. So this will be the end of this mix set. I have my Rathalos Mastery, I have my 5 points of Handicraft, I have my attack boost 4 for the 12 attack and 5% affinity, I have fire attack 3 for fire attack plus 100, critical eye 3 for an extra 10% chance to crit, and I have my weakness exploit 3 for 50% chance to crit on weak points. I have my flinch free level 1 jewel to stop myself from getting knocked back by my allies while we're all hitting the monster together. This is a very underrated skill that you all should be using if you're doing hunts with multiple people. Because if you get knocked over by a long sword or dual blades or a gun lance, while you're trying to hit the monster, if it like gets knocked out or gets mounted, then you won't be able to do any damage. You'll be too busy falling over and just being very frustrated. So this is how I went through making my mix set. This is, in my opinion, a very good mix set. It's got everything I want in it. It's got my white sharpness. It's got my attack 12 with my 5% affinity. It's got the fire damage all the way up, which is great for the elemental crit aspect. And I have 80% chance to crit between my raw affinity and my weakness exploit 3. I also don't get knocked over by my allies. So this is my mix set for the Wyvern Blade Indigo. I hope that you all kind of saw where I went through, got the armor pieces that I wanted with the skills that I wanted, how I found them, how I searched for them, how I put my decorations in, how I chose what charm I wanted to use. And hopefully now you have a little bit better idea on how to make your own mix set for whatever weapon you do choose to get. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I am Tygram, and I hope to see you again.